That is very festive. We're looking festive today. It is, unfortunately for you, it is indeed a pre-record this week once again here on Sacktap Live. But look, there's a red hue washing over me. I got a little bit of green in the background. Should I get some more green in there? Wash it. Let's see what happens. It's gonna fuck it all up. If I do this, no, I can't. I can't add any more green to the background because what's gonna happen is it's going to bounce off. The fucking remote's going to bounce off the light. It's going to change that one. Everything is going to be a wash in green. And I'm going to get very annoyed. And then I have to get up and reconfigure all of this shit. And it's not going to be fun. It's going to interrupt the recording, the show. And I don't have a whole lot of time to do this because I have to, I've dilly-dallied today. Well, I had things to do. I had to teach a class. And on the way home from said class, I also worked out right before I taught, and then or right after, and I had some creatine with beta alanine and some cherry juice. And last night, I went out after I taught my evening class and I didn't get drunk. I had a martini and a beer, but then I picked up some pizza on the way home, and I just shit both times I've defecated today. It's been pure liquid. And the second one I had to hold in for the entire walk home from the gym. Literally before my ass hit the fucking bowl, it was like shooting at it exited inches above, like not like just in the I want to say I was probably a good 8 inches above the seat when my asshole just decided, hey, we made it. It's time. We did our job. We held the line until you were hovering over the bowl and the dam broke. And I do not take a lot of liquid shit, but that creatine I took because I woke up this morning and I had my AG1 and my electrolytes just flushed out the first round. And then I guess from all the jostling and running around I was doing, the rest of it just got kind of pushed out. So, that creatine just fucking blew it out. But it's amazing. Like, holding that in and like the walk and it's like snowing out here. It's, it's cold. I was all fucking bundled up. And, my feet are beat to shit because I'm training for a marathon right now. So it's like I feel every step. And there are a lot of slow moving idiots around here and like bad drivers and stuff. So you're waiting at the crosswalk. You're trying to cross the street without getting killed. All while clenching your ass and trying to avoid just fucking soiling yourself in the middle of an urban neighborhood. The neighborhood kids be pointing and laughing, pointing out the duty. They love to call it duty, which isn't objectively fun. It is fun calling shit duty. I have to start shaving before these things, by the way. I can see myself in the monitor, and there is nothing I hate more. Like, I have good grown in stubble, but because for me it comes in thicker in the chin strap and the circle, it looks like I'm a guy who's cultivating this fucking chin strap beard, circle beard look, which is it's just a heinous look that nobody should have. Anyway, we are pre-recorded tonight because I have a dinner to get to. It's the Friday before Christmas. If you're in watching this, I feel like there's something wrong with you. Go out, socialize, be with the people who you like and love. It's Christmas time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm a huge Christmas guy. I love it. I love as soon as October is interesting because I like October because Halloween's fun and everything like that. And the holidays are on the horizon. I mean, really, I've always said this, the year, as soon as Easter rolls around and the weather starts getting nice, you got a great year going. All sorts of fun shit from like the revelry of summer to the football season to the holidays. That's a good stretch. It's late February and March that are fucking killer, because even January you get the playoffs. It's fucking great. October's weird because it's like October used to be a chilly month when I was growing up, and like the leaves would be falling, and it would be this month of change and transition as we got ready for the cold weather. But it was in the 70s until fucking Thanksgiving around here, so there was really no autumn. We just went straight to winter, which I guess is that, I don't know if that's the climate change that the libs keep talking about, but anyway, it's just been it's been interesting. But yeah, as soon as like I start rocking the Christmas music as soon as November 1st rolls, like midnight, the stroke of midnight, when the 31st turns to the 1st. If I'll fucking wreck your Halloween party. I'll put on fucking what's that that song where they just shit on Africa for 5 minutes. Feed the world, let them know it's Christmas time. I love that in the fucking 80s, a bunch of celebrities got together and said, hey, what if we just wrote a song shitting on Africa? It'll be a Christmas song. The entire thing will be about how much Africa sucks. Hey, everybody, give things to people in Africa because Africa sucks. It sucks so bad that they don't even know it's Christmas. But they will if our missionaries come there and teach them about it. Like that missionary who, I think I did this one on the show a few weeks ago. This missionary couple goes to Africa and the wife started banging one of the local tribesmen. So they fucking, her and a couple guys conspired to whack the husband. Like that guy's life, that's the journey that his life took him on. Fascinating. It's always interesting, like, people who wind up getting like beheaded or whatever by ISIS and stuff like that. But you grew up in Ontario, Canada, and somehow the path of your life took you to a fucking, a basement somewhere in Aleppo, and some jihadi from fucking wherever the fuck he came from has a fucking scimitar up against your neck and is about to hack it off. They got you all drugged up. Ugh. That's not Christmassy. There actually is right literally at this moment, there is a I guess I saw this before I had the 4:00 news on. A car slammed into a Christmas market in Germany. So I've never been to Germany. Well, I have. My flight home from Iraq, we stopped over in Germany for 9 hours, and we vomited all over the airport after helping ourselves to large amounts of alcohol and very little food. But a car just ripped through this thing. Oh yeah, they have the. Let me see if I can pull this up. I can. Just a moment. Yeah, so this is the Christmas market in Germany. I haven't seen this video. This is the first time seeing of it. Holy shit. Wow. That was fucking wild. Jesus. I mean, that car just went through that fucking market like a lawnmower through blades of grass. That's incredible. I mean, and now, like, for a while there was a good long while there where when a terrorist attack of any kind happened, you were like, all right, this was Al Qaeda, or that, this was ISIS, or we knew who done it, right? It was very we didn't know who specifically, but we knew which team they were playing for. Now it's like it just feels like everybody is out there. Fucking Luigi Mangione. We got this other guy. Some guy stabbed the head of his company, or his boss, during a meeting the other day. Just like the guy's just like the president of some random company, and he attacked him. We're getting into weird terrain. Like, they tried to kill the fucking president twice. It's we're going through one of those things. Like, I think the 70s were like this. The 60s, the 70s, and maybe into the early 80s. Like, there were a lot of political assassinations and bombings and stuff like that. There's gonna be some weird shit going down. We got the drones. I heard a very good prediction that at some point something has to happen. So I heard a person who's very informed on these things just said that at some point, we don't know when, but at some point something, we don't know what that something will be, will happen. So we should be on the lookout. And this is something right here. So it's already underway. But yeah, I really, really love the holiday. Like, I've been going out to a lot of different like dinners and stuff. I'm a big dinner guy now because I don't go out and rage as much anymore. Though I will be have a Christmas party to attend this evening after dinner. But like I'm not out living the Friday, Saturday, Sunday fun day, let's get drunk every day lifestyle. So this time of year and like holidays and like peak summer are when I kind of go out and get that out of my system. I was out to dinner last week at this place Porta in Montclair, which it's like it's not a chain, but they own several of them. They're like these coal fire pizza places with a bar, and they have a dance floor. So it's like a few different things in one. Like, they have a little cocktail lounge area. They have more of a beer bar with a dance floor, and then they have a restaurant area. They're a lot of fun. You can't go. I think if you're in New Jersey or New York, and there's one in Brooklyn, there's one down in Asbury. We have one here in Jersey City, and there's one in Montclair. But I got to watch one of my favorite things, which is guys, very pseudo-confident guys striking out with chicks. There was the dance floor was kind of empty. It's kind of near the restaurant area, or part of, like, there's like this area where it melds from bar to restaurant. So like the seating is all kind of like bench seating, like fucking picnic table, like beer hall style almost. And then there's the bar and the dance floor. And there are these chicks out there just kind of awkwardly dancing, very momish dancing, like not the Trump dance, which is full of Riz, but fucking, like a mom dance where like their hands are kind of at their sides and they're just kind of like, maybe once in a while they'll do a little something like that, but not like, they weren't going ham. Like, they were giving off very, very mom vibes. Like, I got married and had a kid right out of college, and I have forgotten, what it is to even be a sexual being. Fucking vibes. And they're out like dancing, and these guys start, hitting the dance floor, and one of them was decked the fuck out, like trousers, fucking button down vest, like looked like he had been wearing a 3-piece suit and took off his jacket and left it on the chair. And he's out on the dance floor, and he's fucking real confident, fucking just kind of dancing by himself, rolling up his sleeves like he's getting ready to go to work. He was bald. He looked like the tall, slim guy from Key and Peele. And I keep waiting for him to make his actual move. And time is going by, and then like another one comes out. It must have been like a group that was out together, because this guy's he's in a blazer, but it's like an ill-fitting jacket, like when you're when you're in like middle school or something like that, and you don't have a suit, so you put on like one of your dad's old jackets, and it's like you're you're tall enough now to kind of wear it, but you still have kind of a preteen teenager borderline build, so you're not filling it out, and it just kind of hangs on you. Like that's what this other guy looked like, and they're both trying to infiltrate this group of chicks, and these are the only 5 or 6 people on the dance floor. And there's one chick, she was like black or Hispanic or something like that, who was actually kind of dancing and tearing it up, but like by herself, and not like twerking and throwing her ass around like a hua. Just like she was very kind of not overdressed, elegantly dressed. Like she looked like when they show those commercials for like prescription medication for people in their 40s and 50s, and they're explaining that you can still live a full life with whatever fucking severe depression or fucking Crohn's disease, or whatever. What's the other one that they do it a lot for? The eczema or plaque psoriasis. Plaque psoriasis. Eczema, I think you just fucking put some calamine on and it goes away. Plaque psoriasis. All of those, and they'll show a woman like dancing, and like they'll make her look like stunning in the light and everything, and you're like, oh yeah, but she's got bubbly guts and a rash. So she looked kind of like that. Like she looked like she had been like she was auditioning for a commercial for fucking not Ozempic is for the fatties. What do they take? Fucking Viscovi. I don't know. There's just a million of these commercials showing you how you can live such a full life on whatever fucking product they're peddling. Yeah. So that was that. The guys just fucking lingered awkwardly. They just kind of like the girls were kind of like, maybe 3 or 4 of them facing each other and just kind of like, hey, we're friends. We know each other. We know there's nothing erotic about us at all. And then like these guys are like just kind of circling outside, trying to get a little of that eye contact. But every time it looked like they'd make a little eye contact, there would just be like a kind of like awkward nod, and then they'd look away. And any chance at a connection was just gone. But it wasn't. I don't know what they were thinking getting out on like the guys trying to chase ass on the dance floor, that like you have to be so charismatic in a situation like that, because the lights were still like on, like they hadn't been dimmed for like party time yet. Because the food was still available. People are mostly sitting and eating. So it's a very. I don't think a woman at a pizza restaurant, especially the type giving off very, very heavy, like suburban soccer mom vibes, is going to go like rub her pussy on some guy's thigh. While everyone's sitting around eating coal-fired pizza and watching. Like that's just not. You got to wait another 2 hours before you try to get in there. Like grab them, chat them up at the bar. It's not going to go well on the dance floor in that moment unless you have some serious moves where like you can do some spins and like dips and stuff, like where you can really put on a show. And very few people, I think, are capable of that. So you have to be careful. What else? I'm in a very relaxed mood. I don't have a huge agenda for this show. This will be the I think I should have mentioned this at the top. This will be the last show of the year. I'll be back. Taking off the coming week. The next 2 weeks I'm taking off because I'm just fucking exhausted. It's been a very, very long and busy year, a very good year, but very busy. So I'll be back in early January with the next episode. I will remind you guys of that at the end. But I have so many fond memories from this time of year because it was always a time like I would come home on leave when I was in the Marine Corps. So it was always like special. I'd have like a couple weeks off to like see everybody and catch up. It always meant a lot to come back. And we would get blackout drunk. Getting blackout drunk around the holidays was really a tradition that I discovered in like ninth grade or so. But the cool thing about my hometown was that we had, it was a very big football town. And when I was growing up, and even now, actually, I mean, they made the state sectional final this year. They got their asses kicked, but they did make the state final. We would be, we won, my class that I graduated with won the state championship game every year. And for us, the state final was always the first Saturday in December. So like we would have the greatest, it would be like the greatest time of year ever because we'd rip through, you win all your playoff games and there's just all this fucking excitement. And that happens. The state semifinal was usually the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So you roll into Thanksgiving dinner feeling like the fucking cock of the walk. Like you're the fucking man sitting at your table feasting on turkey. And then you play the state final the next weekend and you win that. And they would throw the Glenrock Inn's, the bar in town. It's December, so it would be all decked out for Christmas. And you'd go in that night after the game and they would have a full buffet set up for us with like fucking wings, like cheesesteak, egg rolls, all sorts of bar food, potato skins, and you hang out with your buddies. You soak up all the congratulations from the parents and well-wishers and whatnot. The adults are all fucking hammered in the next room. And then after you've lined your stomach with fucking buffalo wings, you hang out at a buddy's house for like a couple hours, digest, and then like figure out where the good times are going to be a rolling. And you go to someone's basement and there's a keg and all your classmates are there and you have a teen movie style party in someone's basement to celebrate. It was always such a fun way to kick off the season. And then, it's fuck off time. No one's getting any work done. You're not doing a goddamn thing. I haven't done a goddamn thing since October. It's fun. You just slack off at school. You got a bunch of assemblies. People are bringing in desserts. You get the week off. There's just nothing important is going on. Your fucking teachers don't want to be there. They're coming in hungover all the time. When you get older, you're in college. You come home. You're going to your hometown bars, having a few pops, doing a few lines. It was a fucking blast. I want to say, I don't know if this was high school or college. This might have been college. And it was Christmas Eve. And a chick I was seeing at the time, they stopped by for Christmas Eve, with her family. Like they lived nearby. So like after they did their Christmas Eve, they would come over by us for, drinks and dessert and stuff like that. Because we would usually have a lot of people for Christmas Eve when I was growing up. And I remember we disappeared downstairs for a while, and she gave me a nice sucking on the couch, a nice Christmas Eve sucking. And I went upstairs, and for some reason, this is just like one of my cousin's favorite moments. Like we came back upstairs and sat down, and it was very like, he just says it was painfully obvious that you had just gotten blown. And then like they went to leave, and instead of like getting up, walking them like her family to the door and saying goodbye, our dining room table was like, it was here, and then like the front door was just like right there. He says apparently they got up. I was pretty fucking tuned up, and instead of like going and wishing the family a Merry Christmas and everything. They just fucking waved, and I just fucking hoisted a glass to them after their daughter had just filleted me in the basement. So I think that was I want to say it was college or something like that. Um, yeah, that was a good time. And then I remember being home for leave from the Marine Corps, and I met this chick at from the fucking Paramus. Yeah, um, the bar wasn't in Paramus. The bar was in Ridgewood, but the broad in question was from Paramus, and she was of an ample posterior, and I guess her dad wasn't get like her dad was on vacation with his girlfriend or her fucking stepmother, some whatever fucking arrangement it was, and they weren't getting back until I guess the morning of the 24th or the 23rd or something like that. So like the entire week leading up to Christmas while I was on leave, I would just go over there and give her vigorous rogerings right there in the family living room in front of their Christmas tree. I remember like she would just bend over, like not even like bend over anything. Like she would just pop her hands up on the wall, push her hips back, and be bent over at a 90-degree angle, and just ready herself for a pounding. It's one of my fondest Christmas memories. Christmas, because people don't understand that historically, all of this gift giving and children, Santa Claus, family, grandma, the lights and Rockefeller Center, all that bullshit that's relatively new, like past 150 years or so. That's come into vogue. Prior to that, Christmas was basically Halloween part two. Like people would get fucking wasted, and they would fight, and they would bang out in the streets, and they would go to rich people's homes and demand food and booze and gifts. And if the rich did not comply with the ritual, they would get very, very upset and start throwing rocks through the windows. So Christmas is has always been a time of great revelry and excitement. And probably the greatest demonstration of such was the Christmas after I got out of the Marine Corps. My siblings and I were still living at home, and my brother and I would go to this bar in the next town, McMurphy's in Ridgewood, and every Sunday to watch the Sunday night game, they would have dollar beers. So we just drink dollar beers, eat fucking pretzels at the bar, and watch Sunday night football because we weren't making much money. Like it was the recession. Like this was the Occupy Wall Street year. Like shit was pretty fucking rough. Probably for another, I want to say like things finally started to come around. Maybe a year or so later, but like it was just living that mid-20s, trying to figure out life, existence. And somehow, okay, so there was this magazine called Steppin' Out, and in the back of it there was an ad for this male masseuse who did male only massages. She was basically just a gay escort who come over, rub you down, and probably blow you. And as a goof, we would order his services to our friends' homes. And in the back of this fucking magazine, there were also ads for like strippers and stuff like that. So we're there at the bar one night, and we're like, hey, Christmas Day is a Sunday. There's a Sunday night game that day. What if we got some strippers And no one's ever in this bar on a Sunday night. So we're like, what if we got some strippers and we close the fucking bar? We're the only ones who are ever here. The bartender was an old Navy vet. Well, not old Navy. He's a Navy vet. He was like our age. So he's like, yeah, I'm down. Like, fucking, I'll shut it down. We'll have a private Christmas party. It'll be awesome. And we're like, okay. So my brother, I had to work on Christmas Day until 10 o'clock at night. I worked like a 2 to 10 in the city. So I was able to do Christmas morning with my family and everything like that. And then I drove into the city, worked in the 1010 Wins newsroom from 2 to 10, and then headed straight to the bar to meet up with my brother after he wrapped up with our family celebration over at my uncle's house. So I meet him there, and the bar is overflowing with people. It's like, fuck, what the hell are we gonna do? We've ordered, the strippers have been ordered, the deposit has been put down. None of us have too much fucking money as it is at the time. So we're like, we gotta get our money's worth now that we've put the deposit down. So where the fuck are we gonna take these broads? And everyone's kicking around ideas. Like the one guy we were with was working for the DPW, so he's like, we got a trailer at the landfill we can take him to. I'm like, fucking, first of all, you get in a lot of trouble for that. And there are, this was around the time when cameras were starting to show up everywhere. Also, there's not a chance that these chicks are going to be like, oh yeah, we'll go to the landfill with you. Like, that's literally like, if you were going to murder a stripper and easily dispose of her body, the landfill is where you would do it. So, we also pitched breaking into one of our friends' house. We knew the family was away in Spain for the holidays. We were going to break in and do it there. That idea was also eventually decided against. So finally, I pulled my brother aside, and we were just kind of like, look, like, we're the only ones. Like, we're the only ones with the balls who need to do what needs to be done. And he said, yeah, you're right. So we did what had to be done, and we gathered everyone up, and we took the strippers to our parents' house. They were supposed to be asleep. We thought they were asleep. We brought the girls in. I tried to get in through the garage first, which was probably mistake number one, because it had these big creaking barn-style doors, and it was filled with like cans and fucking recycling from Christmas, because you haven't get a lot of drinks, a lot of all sorts of shit. So I made a lot of noise going in. That probably didn't help. And then my brother leads them around the back through these sliding doors, which is the way it should have been done to begin with. He leads them around there. We get them down into the basement. I'm going to say it's like me, my brother, like 3 or 4 other dudes, and these 2 strippers. So the girls, we had a basement bathroom, which I later found out the vent had was on some sort of direct line to my parents' room. I guess it was probably the same air conditioning duct or some shit. So my parents must have been able to also hear the strippers like getting changed into their stripper outfits, which roused my mother's fucking attention. So we're down in the basement, and I got the mood down there was set. Like the Christmas lights are all on. We had the pool table. I had some light tunes going on the stereo. Everyone's having drinks. Like, we're having a good time. Like, hey, we're gonna do this. Like, it all worked out. Like, this is gonna be perfect. Like, Merry Christmas, everybody. Fucking toasting. The girls come down. Like, they get a muted but enthusiastic round of applause. And the fun is about to begin. And they're like, hey, we're going to play some games. The first game, you have to give us your money, but you can't use your hands to give it to us. So I assume the position laying down on the floor. one of the other guys is laying on the couch. We got these two chicks, and they are about to straddle over our faces to receive, whatever fucking meager cash we had on us. These two community college students were about to earn their dollar bills. So just as this chick's about to fucking squat over my face, I hear the basement door open and footsteps coming down. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, strippers, hide. And they duck down behind the pool table. And my mother comes down the stairs, and she looks everywhere in that basement. Laundry room, we had there was like a crawl space at the back of the laundry room. Behind the couch, like everywhere that you could look, she looked, except for this one spot behind the pool table. And somehow the strippers evaded detection, at least for the moment. So she goes back upstairs, but now she's not going to bed. She's just hanging out in the living room, like lingering. When my mother gets pissed off and she wants to be passive aggressive, she does the dishes in a very loud manner. So she's doing that, and she's scrolling on her iPod, and just letting it be known that or iPad, letting it be known that she is upstairs, awake, and alert to the shenanigans unfolding downstairs. But we're on the clock with these broads. Like, we only got them for, how long does a strip show last? It's like, an hour and a half or so. Maybe we booked them for 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever the fuck it was. There is a ticking clock, and we need to get the most out of it. So I go up, I do a whole rigmarole, pretend like I'm getting ready to go to fucking bed or whatever, just to try to like ease my mother back, get her out of there. Get her out of there. Get her back to the third fucking floor of the house, so she can't interfere with our good time. Alas, this did not happen, and we had no choice but to move forth with the show. So I go back to laying on the floor, other guys on the couch, and we are going to resume the fun. The fucking door swings open again, and she's coming down to inspect. Like, she's not going to let this go. So like, fuck, strippers, hide. This time they hide behind the couch, and she does her whole same routine, and again is about to walk up the stairs without having detected the strippers, who are now hanging out behind the couch, until somehow, I don't know, this chick had her arm was sticking out, some shit. My mother catches a glimpse and orders whoever is behind the couch to reveal themselves, at which point two ass-naked community college chicks just fucking stroll out into the middle of, like it's like technically not the living room. It's like a finished basement. So I don't know what you call that, but it was the room in which we would kind of like, you would entertain, where you'd watch football and shoot pool, and the family computer was down there, so you would masturbate after everyone went to sleep. All of those things. The bar was down there. So the strippers step out, and now we really have a fucking situation on our hands. My mother begins the interrogation, first asking how old they are, which I guess is fair because she wants to make sure there aren't fucking teenagers taking off their clothes in her house. Both of them I believe they were 21 and 22, and offered to show identification, at which point my mother offered them a glass of wine, which they kindly rejected. She asked them why they would be doing this on Christmas Day. And I think she said something along the lines of like, like she said to either me or my brother, what do you have him here so you can all get blowjobs or something like that? At which point the stripper looked at my mother and said, "No, miss, we weren't going to suck your son's dicks or anything like that." My mother asked my brother, "How much did you pay them to come here?" And my brother tried, for whatever reason, I guess he thought it was better if he said that we hadn't paid them. Um, and he said, "Oh, we didn't pay them." And I was like, "Obviously, we fucking paid them." Like, no, these two college chicks are just here naked at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning on December 26th. They fucking drove up from Atlantic City, which I believe is where my brother ordered them from. They drove up the Garden State Parkway for free to take their fucking clothes off for a room full of guys who live with their parents. Like, I don't know under what circumstances that would be achieved without any kind of financial incentive. But yeah, she escorted them down. At which point, she escorted them out. At which point, we're all in the kitchen. One of my brother's friends is like just profusely begging my mother not to tell his parents because his father was like a kind of a known hothead, and he didn't want to get in trouble because again, we were all living at home like a bunch of fucking jamokes, and he was afraid of what the consequences might be if his father found out. And at that point, my dad entered the scene. He came downstairs and wanted to know what the hell was going on. And he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And I think I dropped a Dom Mazzetti line on him. I think I said, like, "I'm just a guy trying to have a good time." And he just shook his head and went back upstairs. And the strippers left. And that was that. And then luckily, I think my parents wound up going down the shore for a few days after that. So things were able to like cool off a little bit. But they were threatening to like kick us out, charge us rent, this, that, it was quite a scene. But in any case, one of my favorite Christmas memories. How am I doing on time here? I'm at 42. I do have to hop in the shower momentarily here. What can we leave on? It'll be too long. I was gonna watch the Amazon. What do they call this? Midnight Opus. Have you seen the Amazon commercial where the janitor is a good singer? So they buy him a tuxedo on Amazon, and then he performs in front of all the workers at this fucking playhouse or whatever it is. He's the janitor at like a theater, and people hear him like singing. He's mopping, and he sings, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love." And everyone loves, he's got this angelic voice. So they use Amazon and they order him a tuxedo, and they have him sing that song on stage in the theater in front of all of the workers, all of like the ushers and the ticket takers. And it's this big moment of love and adoration amongst the staff of this theater. And I guess there was in America's Got Talent or some shit. There was a janitor who could sing good, and this was inspired by that. But it's just one of those truly hateable commercials where Coke does it and Amazon does it and all these companies do it, where they're trying to make everyone feel warm and loving for the holidays. Like there was a Coca-Cola one a couple years ago where it was like all of these fucking, basically all of these people looking at like pictures of dead relatives and then putting on their fucking Christmas sweaters and making the recipe that their dead grandmother used to make and serving it to everybody, except instead of it being like the exquisite work of the dead matriarch of the family, it would be like, some 35-year-old fucking career barista, whose parents are still paying for him to live in a fucking, a roommate situation in Brooklyn. And he's, polyamorous and can't fucking cook worth a shit. He's the one serving it up, and it's very just, it will make you want to drive a car through a Christmas market. But Amazon did one this year, and I just explained what it was, and I just find it very, very funny that Amazon is tugging at everyone's heartstrings while at the same time, I believe they have busted through. They broke the picket lines. Amazon workers are striking all over the country, and Amazon said "fuck it" and just rolled their trucks through the Christmas line or the picket line to get those holiday deliveries out. So I do love that Amazon is doing this shit. Like, look, you are the website that we use to order cheap Chinese shit that has, it's filled with toxic chemicals, but it's incredibly cheap. Whatever LED fucking this, that fucking product you're ordering for $5 on Amazon, that's what you're here for. We're not pretending that you are this spreader of love or any of that shit. We're looking the other way while you treat your employees terribly because you provide a very useful and low-cost service. And for that, we thank you. And I thank you for tuning in tonight. I truly appreciate it. I wish I was doing the show live more often, but the schedule is what the schedule is. And there's not really a night that I could go live. Like I have my, 2 jobs and a bunch of other shit. It's just the schedule gets packed. So sometimes instead of being able to do it live on a Friday night, I have to squeeze it in pre-recorded on a Friday afternoon. But have yourselves a safe and happy season, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and all the rest. Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moiler, the YouTube channel Mike's Golden Streams, at Mike's Golden Streams, and that's that. I'll catch you in the new year, folks. Adios.